Hey, Katie, Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Hey Mike, happy 2024.
I know what an amazing 2023 we've had. I'm so excited to start a new year. It's been truly amazing. I want to thank all our supporters. I mean, all the great accomplishments with the Beekeeper book, all our readers, all the reviews. Just so humbling to see all that happen last year.
Yeah, it's been, I can't even believe it. We keep reflecting back and we realize, right, we've had so many wins and so many successes, but we still have so much to learn. And so I'm excited as we kind of turn the page to start this new year and to think about, who and how we want to be.
Totally. And one of the things that I know we keep talking about is as you start the year, like how are you going to think about who and how you want to be? So that's why we came up with be mindsets, and that's really threaded through our entire book is the lens you're choosing and how you want to be. So I have to ask you, as my growth partner, what be mindset are you choosing this year? And really tell our listeners what is a be mindset.
Yeah, I love that you're asking this question. First of all, I love that you're curious. So many of our readers are saying, like, how do I choose a B mindset? And so, we kind of look across social media and we see people committing to like a one word vision or, something they want to improve upon or something they really want to focus on. And I think the goal is, how are we smart about setting goals for ourselves? Really smart, meaning, right, that we pick something specific, that it's measurable, right? It's realistic, it's attainable, and timely in your life, like something that's meaningful. And so I've been going through this exercise for the last, 6 or 7 years, really thinking about one thing I want to commit to just show up better, right? That I can activate an energy to just kind of fuel my vision and ways that we can choose who and how we want to be. And so, we know from a leadership perspective that oftentimes we miss when people fail to see that they have agency over choosing who and how you want to be. And so we often reference these as lens check moments, right? You could see the problem or you could see the opportunity to find a solution. And so I think there's a little bit of a difference. And as we start the new year, there's always the opportunity to kind of switch that lens to say, what do I want to work on? And what do I want to see this year? And even more than that, who do I want to be?
That's awesome. So did you choose a be mindset? I have to ask you.
I did. And, I know you know this as my growth partner, but last year, in all of my work, and personally, there was an undertone of, really embracing authenticity, unapologetically and authentically. And in many ways, there's a space of, for ourselves and for others that we could easily get stuck, right? We could see something as broken or not working. And in the spirit of choosing, a solutions focused lens, I was introduced to, the Japanese process of kintsugi a couple years ago, which is where they put gold lacquer on like broken porcelains that kind of, pull it back together, but it gives it almost this stamp of like a scar, something we went through, a growth moment, right? A way to kind of
Hmm.
look at how we continue to grow and how we might look at things taking new shape or new form. And so my B mindset this year is going to be to be Kintsugi focused. That's both for myself and in the work that I do that just fuels me so much. How about you?
That's
What are you
awesome. I
thinking
love that
about?
word. So I think we kind of reflecting back on what we talked about. We had a really blessed year in 2023. I think a lot of wonderful things happened. A lot of people in our lives that had supported us, and I think there's times where I reflect on, am I giving enough back, and how can I give more back of my time? I think you say it often, and we talk about it in the book. But what you give your time and energy to grows, and I love that. I love when we think about that. So I know there's a lot of people and organizations that uh that really need support, and I want to be able to give back a little bit. So I'm thinking that this year my word is going to be altruistic, and I'd like to be a little more altruistic this year in the things that I do and who I help and who I support and how I do that. And I think you can weave that in at work and at home and professionally and personally. So I'm going to focus on being more altruistic.
I love that, Mike. I love that. And any way I can help you to do that, you let me know. But I think something too, as like co-authors, is, and we really want our readers to start thinking about what your B mindset could be and how we can create a sense of community to keep helping one another grow. But, One thing that you and I hear often, and we've heard this in keynotes that we've done, and even with our publisher, is that, we're co-authors and we kind of show up in this space as growth partners, right? And people say, well, usually it's one person. We're like, well, we're showing up as two, right? And that's harder to do, right? That you have to really collaborate and think about the things that we could do to move ourselves out of our comfort zone to be better. And so as we think about, B mindsets, I think we should probably think about a shared B mindset. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I think that's definitely in the spirit of accountability and growth partnership, have something that we can think about together each and every day.
And so in the spirit of that, there's probably a nice announcement or reveal that we can share with listeners right now in the spirit of what we want to commit to together. Do you want to share some exciting news with listeners?
Sure. I think for everybody who took the time to read The Beekeeper, our publisher, Wiley, offered us another contract for another book. And so we are super excited and humbled to get started on this process. Writing a book is very inspirational and provides a lot of meaning. And so as we go through our process of writing the book, I think Katie and I are both going to be very reflective and thinking about, what have we heard from our readers? What do they like? And what is out there in the literature and in today's day and age that we can really help support with what we're going to put out there to our audience. So, what about be reflective, Katie?
And so perfectly, right? I'm looking at the telescope in your screen, right? That we really need to think about that, right? To your point, how are we being reflective? How are we turning the lens, right? To think about what we're seeing. But to Mike's point, we're well into writing book number 2. We're excited to be able to share that with all of you. But yeah, let's embrace this B mindset of be reflective as we work on this learning, right? From the Beekeeper and last year and from all of our readers, but also as we think about the way forward, in continuing this space of ongoing learning and growth.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to, hold each other accountable to all our B mindsets, and can't wait to hear from everybody on what their B mindsets are and how we can support them as they grow.
Me too. Thank you again to everyone for your unwavering support and for helping us to just be better.